Hi, everyone, and welcome to another great car here on the Car Reviews podcast with CollectorCarCanada.ca. Today, we have a 1990 Mercedes-Benz 500 SL. So this one's being featured as a Thrifty Thursday car, which is something we do with some of the cars that need a little bit of TLC before they're ready to go the way they came out of the factory. This one is running nice, and you see it looks pretty good. Has a few flaws, some of which we'll point out in the video, but take a look at our detailed listing for lot 322, and we do our best to itemize them there. So 1990 500 SL, the first year of the R129 body style, which came to great acclaim in model year 1990. The first one was actually built in 1988, but as a 90 model year. This car we have today, I remember it was February. February of 90, so built in February 90. I knew it was a 1990 model year, certainly. So that first year of the R129s were built for quite a long range of period. So the R129s, they hung around until 2002 model year. The R230 succeeded it for the 03 model year. I know we've sold some R230s as well. Before this one was the R107, something we sold a number of over the years. And that one was a really long period, 1972 model year through 89. So leading to this 1990 model year, R129. And this one is the 500 SL. In 1990, there was a 6-cylinder 300 SL available, but this is the big guy, the 500 SL, the most powerful engine you'd get in 1990 model year. Powerful enough to be rated from the factory at 322 horsepower. So quite a surge from that predecessor R107. So I think I'm going to be able to reach around and start this one from where I am. So I'm going to start it up and we'll give everything a listen and move on with our video. So the car started just fine, but I didn't have my second microphone in place so you could hear the car starting. You can see now I've got it incorporated into the front end of the car through the grille. So yeah, without further ado, let's start up this 1990 Mercedes 500 SL. My only trouble there was getting a grip on the key, not sitting in the driver's seat. So no trouble at all starting the car. We have had the car running a little bit this afternoon. We haven't had it out for a drive. We've just driven it around this yard to get it in position for the photos and the videos. So I think it's time now for me to handhold the camera, and we'll listen to the engine and the exhaust, and then we'll go onwards with our exterior and interior tours. All right, we don't normally start our sound portions in the trunk, but before I showed you the engine, I wanted to show you that this engine cover intact is sitting in the trunk. And that's because the car's currently at the owner's preferred shop, getting a couple of vacuum leaks attended to, and that's why the engine cover is not in place. This is going to double as our trunk tour as well. And the only thing I wanted to show you was this presumably unused spare with the original wheel. I think it's fair to say that the owners upgraded the wheels to the 5 spokers you see in place from a later R129. You can see those floor mats, they come along with the car as well. So we'll close that door down, or trunk lid rather, and we'll get in close to the engine without engine cover, as I say. So I do have that other microphone in hand, and I'll get in close so you can hear the sound of those belts and fan if applicable. We can see the fan is running, so you are hearing the fan in addition to the big belt. And single muffler with 2 exits here on this 1990 Mercedes-Benz 500 SL. So that'll do it for our listening to the engine and exhaust at idle. We'll move on to an exterior tour now. So on the sun side of the car, I'll get in close to the hood and the fenders. There is some oxidization of the paint. You can see that right here on the fender, the paint retains a nice shine. And you don't see quite the same shine on the hood because of the oxidization I'm talking about. And here's probably where it's worst. At the top of the fender, some of that clear coat has faded, I think it's fair to say. And then we see it also over here on the driver's side fender as well. But moving around to the passenger front corner of the car, I mentioned the wheels when I showed you that spare in the trunk. These are an R129 wheel. I think they're from about a 94 or 95 R129 car, but upgraded certainly on this car. And there's a set of older Dunlop Sport SP 2000, I believe is the model of the tire. I'll get a better look at the model on the rear tire because the sun's shining a little better back there. But you can see date code's a little aged. And I think we're looking at 245/45 17s on there. Yes, that's right. Here are the sizes. I feel kind of bad because before I arrived, those tires didn't have all the dirt on them that you see. But that's just from moving the car around. You can see we did some slip sliding on the grass here, and that's why you see that behind the rear wheel. But here's another look at another Dunlop SP Sport 9000 and date code 05. And then there we see the size. So square setup on this 1990 Mercedes-Benz 500 SL, 245/45 17 here in the rear as well. But a good look at the profile. Now is the time to look at that green paint. We've got the exact shade of green listed on our detailed listing. Again, lot 322, but it does look sharp, sort of in the golden hour, as photographers like to call it. There's a bit of darker cladding. Well, not a bit, but the lower, below the belt line, I guess I'll say, the cladding is a slightly darker green to provide a little bit of contrast, but not dark enough that I'd call it two-tone. You also see there's a color-coded passenger mirror, so matching mirrors on either side, the same color as the paint. And we'll work our way around to the rear of the car. I go on about these tail lights. Every time I see them, I'm still impressed. This is 35 years later for this car. Sharp 500 SL emblem, certainly. But the ridging on these tail lights, as stylish as it is, there's also a functional reason for that. And that is when they get dirty, dirty or filled with snow, not that that's an issue for this car, the surface remains clear. So you can see there's some dust on here. It almost illustrates it for us, being that this is exposed, the lens stays exposed, the dirt and the snow are intended to wipe off. So yeah, that's a neat feature on these old Mercedes. It's got the center high mount stop light on the trunk, and there's the other side of the mirror, and that gives a good look at the two-tone effect, sort of the contrasting effect of the lower cladding. So the cladding on the side as well as the bumper covers is the darker green. Dunlop SP Sport 9000, 245/45 R17 up here on the driver's rear. And then as we work our way through, you can see this vent work provides a little bit of a sporting accoutrement, sporting complement. And there's that side mirror in the body color. And then the front, right, our front driver's front tire as well. Dunlop SP Sport 9000, 245 45 ZR 17. And getting in close on the oxidized paint that I mentioned. I want you to be able to see that. And then as you get closer to the front end of the car, its effect is lessened. Another neat touch on this 1990 Mercedes 500 SL are the front headlight wipers. And the grille, of course, with the three-pointed star in the center of the grille, and then another one up here right on the hood itself. Fog lights incorporated lower the bumper cover between the lower venting, or sorry, the lower venting between the two fog lights. We did operate the fog lights. They were running just fine. So there's a good look at the exterior of this 1990 Mercedes-Benz 500 SL Roadster. We did operate the top. You'll see some photos with the top up and the top down. I'm glad I thought to mention it. Please do take a look at the photos on the detailed listing. The rear vinyl windows of the top need replacing. They look a little sloppy with tape right now. So definitely something that if this car is going to be anything other than a fair weather top down car, those vinyl windows in the rear need replacement. But with the top down, boy, it sure looks sharp. Okay, on to the interior tour. Okay, moving to our interior tour. This is always an angle I like of a convertible with the top down. Of course, a two-place convertible, this 1990 Mercedes-Benz 500 SL Roadster. You can see the shifter in the center. I didn't mention 4-speed automatic, getting the power, the 322 factory rated horsepower of the 5-liter V8 to the rear wheels. So I don't know if I need to climb in, but I'll give you a good look. Another flaw here, this trim that houses the power seat functions, both memory and adjustment, is loose. You can see a couple speakers on that door card. Getting in close, you can see that odometer reading. So the car is going to its new owner with under 168,000 kilometers. Certainly this 5-liter V8 in the R129 is very well regarded. With the right maintenance, no problem at all keeping that odometer ticking. The inside of the car is a little messy. We do have the floor mats as I showed you in the trunk. And then there is an updated Alpine head unit with Bluetooth. There's the microphone for the Bluetooth. But going left to right on the instrumentation, we've got a fuel gauge over on the left. Then we've got a multi-gauge fuel economy on the top. Bottom left is coolant temperature. Bottom right is oil pressure in bar. In addition to the odometer, we saw there's a 260 kilometer an hour speedometer, and then the tach over on the left, 7,000 RPM maximum with a 6,000 RPM red line. There's also an analog clock, which is moved. I remember seeing it about an hour ago at 4:15. So although it's a half hour fast to the time we're at right now, it is running. Cruise control on the stock here, and then automatic climate control, as well as that Alpine head unit. And then in addition to the shifter, we've got the top operation here, power mirrors here, power windows ×2, and then power or heated seats as well as the power seats on either door. A couple of upsets in the leather. Beautiful leather on these R129 SLs, but there's a split here on the center seam on the passenger seat. And then on the driver's seat, there's a cut here on the outer, both the outer side bolster and the outer bottom bolster. You can see how those seat belts are built into the headrest, and the seat belts themselves are built into the seats, which was considered a brake mechanic or engineering breakthrough at the time. The other engineering breakthrough known that the R129 is known for is the roll bar slides up automatically when the sensors in the car sense an upcoming rollover. So although the roll bar is not visible right now, it's designed to pop up into place should the car sense an upcoming rollover. Another safety item on these R129 SLs is four-wheel disc brakes with an anti-lock function. There's another flaw I noticed in the driver's door jamb. So long as we're right here, I'm going to show that to you. But there is a bit of surface rust here. We've got a photo of that on the detailed listing. So that's it for our interior tour. Let's move along to some closing thoughts. So that's going to do it for our tour of this 1990 Mercedes-Benz 500 SL. Again, the odometer shows just over 167K, so it's going to its new owner at under 168,000 kilometers. 5-liter V8 engine, factory rated at 322 horsepower. 4-speed automatic, getting the power, all that power to the rear wheels. Again, this one's lot 322 on collectorcarcanada.ca. We've shown you some of the flaws in this video, but please do take a look at our detailed listing where we've done our best to list them there. Again, it's a Thrifty Thursday, so we're telling you it needs a bit of loving, maybe a little bit of TLC before it gets back to its factory glory. And again, we're current to the video, the recording of the video, the time this video is recorded, but things might change between now and the end of its sale term on our website. So do take a look at the written listing, please. Again, lot 322 on collectorcarcanada.ca. That's going to do it for this video. I want to thank you for watching, and we're going to move on to the next car.